Hello there, this is Mr. Clark. So this week I'm going to go over the Trig review assignment. All right, so you're going to have this review and then a quiz. That's going to be this week. So I'll go over a couple questions on the few questions on this. Okay, first thing it says is label sides and set up all three trig ratios. And here's your trig ratio: sine, cosine, tangent. All right. I'm going to do number one, and you guys could do number two and three on your own. So number one, first thing we're going to do is set up the sides with opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on I'm going to put it on a Word file so I can draw arrows on it. Come on now. Let me try this one more time. There we go. And then we're going to see which side's which. So there it is. There's a triangle, and now first is the hypotenuse. I always look for that first, right? So I'm going to insert an arrow here. So if you draw an arrow from the right angle, which is right there, to the opposite side of that, no, that's not the opposite side, to the other side of the triangle, it's 17. That's the hypotenuse. All right. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to put 17 for the hypotenuse. There we go. See how it's right across from the right angle? All right, next one is the opposite side. Now the opposite side is opposite of the angle we're dealing with here, so that's theta. And the angle we're dealing with is always not the right angle. It's theta in this case, which is that sign right there. We don't know the measure. So the opposite side of that is the side across the triangle from that, and the opposite side is 8. Opposite is 8. There we go. Now there's only one other side. It's 15, and you see how it's next to that angle. It's adjacent to that angle, so it's 15. All right, now we have the side set up. Okay, so we need to do sine. Now sine up here is opposite over hypotenuse. There it is. So opposite over hypotenuse. Here's the opposite, 8. And here's the hypotenuse. No, here it is, 17. There we go. So there's the sine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. All right, go down here. Adjacent is 15. That goes on top of the fraction. Hypotenuse is 17. That goes on the bottom of the fraction. And we come up here again for tangent. Opposite over adjacent. And here's the opposite side is 8. And here's the adjacent side is 15. All right, so there it is for that. Now you're going to do the same thing on these other ones. Okay, you're going to find just a little hint here. You're going to find the hypotenuse, right, directly across from the right angle. You're going to find the opposite side, opposite of theta, right there. See? That's how you do it. Okay, so there's that one. So let's take a look at this. Now these, they're already set up for you. So you just need to solve these. Now we have tangent of 20 equals x over 5. So if you multiply by 5 on both sides, put the 5 up there, put the 5 over here, you can see that the 5's cancel. This is x divided by 5. Here we have 5 over 5, right? That cancels, and then you're just left with x. There you go. All right, and then you multiply 5 times tangent of 20. Now, I would recommend using a Google calculator. If you use your phone, you better know how to do it. I'm not going into that, but I use the Google calculator. Now, before you do it, I want you to do this. Here you open it, and then if you do this sine of 30, you should get 0.5. But I didn't get 0.5, right? That's because it's in radians. Radians is a different way to measure an angle. We are in degrees. We want degrees. So some Google calculators are, I don't know why, they're automatically set on degrees. I saw it, another student showed me. Mine always starts on radians. If I open it up, it starts on radians, you know? So I had to press degrees. And sine of 30, let's just check. 0.5, there we go. Okay, so now I know it's set up right. So we go back to here, 5 tan 20. That means 5 times tangent 20. 5 times tangent of 20. 1.819. So we'll round it to 1.8. All right. 1.8 equals x. There we go. Now, again, I didn't put a times in there because you don't need to have a times. It'll multiply automatically. 5 times tangent of 20. If you put it in there, it's going to do the same thing. 5 times tangent of 20, right? Gives you that. 5 tan 20 gives you the same thing, right? Because it multiplies. All right, there's that. So that's how you do those. There's 2 more for you to do. One's cosine, one's sine. Now we have a couple of these. You're going to set them up and solve. So it's going to be like this, but you need to set it up. Get this out of the way. All right, so this one, so here's this triangle. Now we need to find which side's which. That you got to do that first. So I'm going to put that in a Word file to show you again how to do that. Get rid of this. All right, there we go. Get rid of that. Okay, so what's the hypotenuse? Let's see. Insert, I'm going to put an arrow. Hypotenuse is always directly across from the right angle. Okay, we're not using the hypotenuse. There's nothing there. All right. So what's this side x? Here's this angle we're using. And there, oh, x is the opposite side, right? That means 10 has to be the adjacent because there's only one more side. So we have opposite and adjacent. Okay. So, I mean, you can write that down here if you want to take some notes on it. I'm not going to do that. We did that on the assignment. Opposite and adjacent. Which one's that? That's, get this thing out of the way. Tangent, opposite and adjacent. There it is right there, opposite, adjacent. Okay, so we're going to write it down here. It's going to look like this when we're done, one of these, So I'm going to write down tan. And then what do we put next? We always put the angle next. There it is. Oh, where's it going? Uh-oh. Okay. It disappeared. There it is, 31. 31's the angle. So that goes in, the angle goes in next, 31. Now, tangent is opposite over adjacent. So we're going to put it, we'll put these in here. Now, we said that x is the opposite. See, it's opposite of 31. So x goes here. Adjacent side is 10. That goes in the bottom of the fraction. Tan is opposite over adjacent. And now once you set it up, you just do it just like we just did right here. So I'm gonna, we don't need this anymore. Get rid of that. X. Because when we multiply by 10 on both sides, bigger. Oops, that's a little too big. Okay. Oh, don't do that. Because this thing. So when we multiply by 10 on both sides, right? Multiply 10 here, multiply 10 here. These 10s they cancel out. Then you just have x, right? That's why that goes away. Then you have tan 31. 10 times tan of 31. Let me go over here to the old Google calculator. 10 tan 31. It's like 6. Round that to 6. Okay, almost exactly 6. All right, so that'll be 6. Now it's always a good thing to look at to see if it actually makes sense. To your answer. Like I got 6, right? Now look at this triangle. This is 10. This is 6. Yeah, that looks about right. Now these aren't going to be exactly drawn to scale. If you measured it with your ruler, probably. But if I got like 152 for the answer, like this is not going to be 152. This is 10. This can't be, or 2,000 something. It's not going to be that. But it looks like 6. All right, let me just check I got it right? So it's tangent is opposite over adjacent. Yep. And then we multiply by 10. Yep. There we go. Put it in the calculator. Yep. Okay, that's it. Let me know what questions you have.